Alright, to start off our Pennywise inspired look, I'm going to grab my L'Oreal Magic Lumi to prime my face. Now I'm going to go in with my glue stick and glue down my brows. You want to make sure that your brows are nice and flat so they don't really show through your makeup. Now once they're dry, I'm going to go ahead and color correct them with a peachy reddish color. This will kind of counteract that dark tone that your brows naturally have. Now what you want to do next is grab your face paint. I'm using my Makeup Forever Flash palette, but dip into that white and mix it in with my foundation to kind of make it a lot brighter than my face, but still kind of the same skin tone. And of course, I'm going to be the one that drops it on my pants. Just pick it up and slap it on your face. Just make sure you pat it on your foundation very nicely and evenly. Do not drag it down your neck. Now I'm going to go in with my powder and just set that under eye. Next, I'm going to grab this red color from my Morphe 35B palette, and with my beauty blender, I'm just going to start going in the inner corners of my eyes with this. It kind of creates a really nice effect. And I'm also going to contour my face with the same color, but I'm not going to drag it down my jawline. I'm just going to keep it on my cheeks and on my forehead. And after I'm done with the red, I'm going to go back in with my powder and just set the rest of my face. I'm going to use the clean side of my beauty blender for this part. After letting the powder sit for a little bit, I'm just going to go ahead and dust it off with a big fluffy brush. Now with a big fluffy blending brush, I'm going to dip back into that red color, chisel out my cheekbones a lot more to create a little bit more shadow. And don't forget to blend out those edges really nicely. I did bring it up against my forehead too, just to let you know. Here I'm just highlighting my nose a little more. Now I'm going to grab this black color with the fluffy shader brush, packing that on my lid. Now when I was creating this look, I was actually kind of winging it. You'll see in a little bit that I'm going to go in with some red. If I were to redo this look, I would do the red base first and then go in with my black. I kind of changed my mind last minute. But that's what happens when you mess with makeup. And as you see, just as I mentioned, I'm going to go in with the red with a fluffy blending brush. I'm using a fluffy blending brush because I want it to be kind of loose. I don't want it to be packed onto the edge like that. And I'm keeping it in the outer corner to kind of contrast that inner red that I put in the inner corner. Then I'm going to go back in with some more black with the smaller fluffy blending brush and start darkening that eyelid. I will also be bringing that black into the inner corners of my eyes as well as dragging it right next to that red color down the sides of my nose to kind of create a little bit more shadow. The look really is all about creating dark shadows. A quick tip, I ran out of my eyeshadow primer, so I didn't have eyeshadow primer when I created this look, but I seriously recommend you guys, if you want to recreate this look, to have some eyeshadow primer, because as you'll see throughout the video, my eyelids start to crease up a little bit and the black starts to separate. So get yourself an eyeshadow primer that is bulletproof. Now as you start seeing, as soon as I start doing the outer edges of my lips, I'm going to start creating an outline for where the infamous Pennywise smile lines are. So this is me just kind of going a little bit over the area to kind of map out where I want those lines to be, as well as starting to fill in my brows. This is just a rough draft. I'm going to go in later with a gel eyeliner to kind of darken those areas and make them a lot more detailed. Here I'm just going to bring up the red a little bit more because as soon as I drew on my brows I saw that the red was a little bit lower than where I wanted it to be. Since I mapped out my lines, I'm going to go in with the fluffy dome blending brush and again pick up some of that red to go over those lines to make them a little bit thicker and kind of create a red glow around them when I go in later with the black. Now that I have a rough draft of where my details are going to be, I'm going to go in with the white face paint and start detailing the high points of my face. I'm going to start off with my brow bone, and then I'm going to bring some of that white face paint right in my inner corners to lighten that up as well. I'll be back with that highlighting. I'm going to go in and start sketching out my little clown nose. I'm going to do the outer edges black, so I'm going to go in with my black eyeliner, and then I'm going to fill it in with that red eyeshadow that you'll see in a little bit. I think at this point you could tell that I was definitely winging it because I'm jumping around so much. I'm gonna go in with that white that you just saw and start patting in all my highlights as well as setting my white face paint. Just continue putting that white eyeshadow all over my high points of my face. And here I'm just going to finish filling in my nose. Now since the red looked a little bit on the pink side, I'm going to go in with this orange with the same brush that you see in my hand and start going over those red areas to kind of make it a little bit more on the orange side instead of the pink side. Now you see that as soon as you add in that orange right over all the red, you are no longer on the pink side of it, but more on the orange side. And it looks a lot more vibrant and a lot more colorful like this. Now I didn't notice that my camera stopped recording right at the part where I was applying my liquid lipstick, so I apologize for that. All I'm doing here is just applying more of that orange color on my cheekbones and on my forehead to match the rest of my face. What I'm going to do is grab this white to finish highlighting around my lips and the bridge of my nose. Now it's time to finish off those details. I'm bringing in my Maybelline Eye Studio gel eyeliner and creating a small triangle shape on the bottom and the upper part of my lids using back and forth small strokes. Now for these precise lines, I'm actually using an art brush, not a makeup brush. I found that this was going to help me create a more detailed look, and it was the thinnest brush that I've had in my hand. And now it is time to define our eyebrows. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to kind of insinuate the little frown lines in the front. I'm going to just make the rest of the brow nice and thick and black. I'm planning on leaving the front ends just as thin as you see right now, and then towards the end where my brows are beginning to show through, that's where I'm going to make it a little bit thicker to kind of hide those brows, and you know, also curve in the end as well to kind of make it look more clown-like with an exaggerated arch. Now I'm going to line my waterline as well as apply some mascara and my falsies. I did the falsies off camera because it was kind of hard to be in frame while applying the falsies, so I'm just letting you know I did apply falsies. The nose looked a little flat, so I grabbed a little bit of white face paint and just created a little makeshift highlight on the tip of the nose. Here I'm going to grab my Mary Luminizer and start highlighting all the high points of my cheeks to make that white stand out even further. I don't know if you noticed, but I did decide to put my hair in some pigtails, gave me some Harley Quinn vibes. And to finish up my face, I'm just going to go ahead and outline the outside of my nose to make it a little darker. Now that we're officially done with our face makeup, now it's time to create the clown ruff. So first you're going to start outlining more or less where you want it to go. I'm just using a regular eyeliner to kind of do this part, and I'm making sure that it's as symmetrical as physically possible. Now once you finish your outline, it's time to fill it in. I'm doing a black, white pattern just to go together with the whole entire look, but at the ends of the whites, I'm gonna kind of fade out a little bit of red to tie it all together. I am not gonna lie, it was extremely difficult to paint this correctly. I had to like bend my neck in a way so in order for me to see what the hell I was doing, because I couldn't see anything, to be honest. Now as a tip, you might have noticed that I started with the white first. The reason I started with the white first is because it's easier to paint on white and then paint on your black and go over your white with your black, then go over the black with the white, if that makes any sense. Now I'm going to start adding in that faded red on the white tips to kind of tie the look together, and then later I'm going to go in with my fluffy blending brush and add just a smidge of black eyeshadow at the very tip. Now here I just grabbed a big brush and just adding white eyeshadow over that white color to better fade the red but also set that white face paint so it doesn't move. And then I'm also going to set the black with black eyeshadow. And now to finish, I'm just going to grab a wipe just to clean up the edges. Once you're done with the cleanup, just go ahead and pop in your Halloween contacts and you're good to go. So this is my final look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like if you like it and subscribe down below. Also, don't forget to follow me on my social media and let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye!